Hello, it's Steve with CarSmart in Niagara Falls, and look what we have here, a 2012 Toyota Sienna with only 119,733 kilometers as we do this video. This is a local car bought next door at Autoline Toyota and serviced there, as well as serviced at Pin Oak Automotive right on the other side of me. Again, local one-owner car as well. Older couple bought it brand new, have had it since then. Unfortunately, the woman's husband had passed away, and she, again, it's just too big a vehicle for her to drive around on a daily basis by herself. And so she traded it for another Toyota RAV4, a little more manageable for a single lady without family and grandkids and all that to haul around. Anyways, again, nice clean history. It had one minor incident, and there was no insurance claim, no estimate, just a police reported incident on this back corner. Again, this was back in 2013, so it was only a year old at that time. So it looks like they probably just had the rear bumper painted out of pocket, or whoever was responsible, I don't know. But anyway, other than that, she is clean as a whistle. Also extremely well maintained, not only with servicing, but rust-proofed, crown rust-proofing. The leader in rust-proofing in Canada, in my opinion, done 11 times over the years, so the body is just solid as a rock. There's no rust on it whatsoever. So let's have a walk around and we'll see what we've got. 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels with nice fresh Toyo Celsius all-weather tires. This is sort of a new generation of tire that don't require changeovers for spring and fall. So these are rated as a winter tire and an all-season tire. Again, so you get the insurance discount of minimum 5% as mandated by law in Ontario. Again, no hassle with winter tire changeovers. We've got projector headlights. They have daytime running lights. That's the inner light here. These also act as your high beam lights when activated. It's got splash guards on all four wheels, front and back. As you open up the door, you'll see, again, down on the bottom, there's like a heavy plastic sort of cladding all covering up the rocker panels. And of course, you'll see those are the rust-proofing plugs from the crown rust-proofing, so they can get into those sort of closed box sections. We have, again, a wiper system, of course, variable delay intermittent wipers, but it's difficult to see under that sort of black lower portion of the windshield. There's a heating, wiper heating or de-icing. That's a windshield wiper de-icing feature on it. We're standard on these cars. Your mirrors are all power adjustable with what they call a breakaway design. You've got solar tinted glass on the front. You've got the darker shade band up top and then a privacy tint in the back. That's all factory. We have a factory sort of roof rack rails. You would need cross rail attachments to go with that. You see that little button antenna up top, rear spoiler in the back with an integrated LED stop lamp. So you've got three brake lights. Your normal brake lights, these are also LED tail lights and stop lights. And LEDs are really good for braking because they're faster in reaction time, and they're brighter, and again, they do last much longer too. You're not constantly changing bulbs. Toyota's also, on this generation, we're all using a full stainless steel exhaust system, so extended life. Gosh, these things pretty much go forever. This is a V6 3.5 liter, extremely reliable engine, again with 119,000 kilometers. Regular oil changes continued. There's no reason you can't get 400k out of these engines, plus I see it all the time. Keyless remote entry. Now this doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the newer ones do with blind spot assist and radar cruise control and etc., sensors everywhere. But a lot of people like it this way. It's more basic technology. It's less that can go wrong, right? So especially as the car ages. But we do have a full complement of power windows, door locks, power mirrors. It does have VSC or vehicle stability control, which is really a combination of anti-skid control and all-speed traction control. We've got 11 airbags throughout, including a driver's knee airbag, side impact airbags, dual stage frontal airbags, and then curtain airbags over all three rows of seating over the top. So extremely strong safety ratings. If you were to peel back the doors and you'd see big heavy duty sort of steel pipes through the side to really give it that rigidity. You've got high strength steel pillars at front, middle and back, double steel overhead roofs that are again designed to really hold up to 2.5 times the vehicle's weight in a rollover type accident. And then you've got crumple zones on both ends to really absorb impact energy from either a rear end collision or a frontal collision. So all these things add up to, again, 5-star safety ratings. It just doesn't get any better. Handy little storage bin, you can see with coin holder here. You've got your fuel door release. I'll open that up. You've got a hood release here as well. Of course, parking brake. It's got all the Toyota all-weather mats here. Nice clean seats. Again, you can tell it's been a non-smoker's car. There's no pet odors or anything like such. We have height adjustable seats, so you can crank that up to lift it if you're smaller of stature. You also have a flip down armrest for both driver and passenger on those captain's chairs, and adjustable lumbar support, so you can really accentuate that lower back support, which is nice. We have a tilt and telescoping steering wheel, which is down underneath here. It's a conventional key system with keyless remote entry. We have both sets of keys. There's a second set over here on the seat right now. So 2 keys, 2 remotes. Of course, your horn is in here, of course, with your airbag. Now, these sort of dual stage or multi-stage airbags are designed to really deploy at different levels based on the amount of impact energy. The whole point being it's going to give you the appropriate amount of airbag support without giving you too much. So on a lower speed collision, it'll go off at that lower level, a higher speed collision, higher level. So all for safety. Cruise controls tucked in there. Then we've got all your multifunction controls on the stocks. So on the side here, we have our full variable delay, front wipers, washers, of course, low and high, and then you've got a fixed intermittent rear wiper washer, and of course we also have electric defrosting with a heavy-duty defrosting element and an auto shut-off timer. On the left side here, of course, automatic headlights. You've got your your trip odometers. You know, you can go through the trip odometers, but we'll start just sort of showing off the vehicle odometer, 119, 700. The P just indicates we're in park. Of course, as you go into your drive position, then it's going to display that, and then if you get into manual shifting, which I'll get into in a moment, it'll actually display which gear you're in. And this is a 6-speed overdrive automatic transmission. So again, the 2 trip odometers, A and B. And then there's like Eco On. This has what they call an Eco Drive Monitor. And as you're driving, if you're heavy on the pedal, it won't go on. But if you're, driving it sensibly to get best fuel economy, a little Eco Light will flip on to let you know that you're driving where you're going to get best fuel economy. Seats are manually adjustable. Lots of track. So if you can, those that are tall, you can be 6'5" and fit in these well. They got lots of headroom. And yeah, just great vehicles. Nice thick rimmed steering wheel. Of course, fuel gauges. Again, very basic though. It's all analog, not overly digitized. Of course, this is your hazard light controls. Of course, your vents across the dash, as well as corner vents for side window demisting. You can see speakers up top there. Side window demisting. So this is our main transmission shifter. So we're in the park mode there now. But of course you got reverse, neutral, drive, and then you'll see over to the side this S and a little plus minus. So as you drop this down into your drive mode, that's your regular drive mode. If I flip it over to the left, it goes into a sport mode. Okay, and that'll alert on the dash, and then you can manually shift through your gears up or down. You can see there in that little window to give you sort of manual control if you choose to. And you don't have to use this, but it can be helpful. If you ever grew up driving a manual transmission, your dad probably showed you how to downshift in the wintertime to use engine braking. Of course, this is back before we had anti-lock brakes on cars. And but again, there can be many situations where shifting down a gear or shifting up a gear can not only improve fuel economy, but also give you that sort of engine braking capacity. Passing, for example, on the highway, rather than kicking hard on the accelerator, you can just sort of downshift from 6 to 5, and that's going to jump the RPM on the engine, giving it a little more torque and horsepower to get out and around that car on a 2-lane highway. If we move up top here, we'll see sort of a digital clock there. getting some glare from my camera. There's a little passenger airbag indicator light, and that's all designed to indicate if that airbag is on or off based on whether the seat is occupied. So it automatically turns it off when it's unoccupied, or if the weight is under about 90 pounds. We have AM, FM with available satellite radio. There's a module that has to be installed, so if that's something we're really interested in, you can get that through the Toyota dealers. You've got CD, MP3, WMA, disc player. So when we talk about MP3 or WMA, those are sort of homemade discs. So if you have what we call burned CDs, where you used a laptop or a computer to manufacture your own playlists or music lists, you can do that as well. We also have an auxiliary plug. Now with the age of this, it doesn't have Bluetooth streaming, but there's an easy workaround. With that little auxiliary sort of plug, that little round plug there, you can buy what they call a Bluetooth antenna, and they're available on Amazon or any sort of music or electronics store, and they're not expensive, like between $35 to $60 depending on the brand. And you can get again Bluetooth streaming, so you can use your phone just like you would on a more modern day car with that as well. And of course you've got AM, FM as well here, that disc player. And yeah, pretty straightforward. Nice basic system. Air conditioning. We've got 3 different zones, so we can dial in independent temperatures for driver, passenger, and rear zones. You can turn over control to the rear passengers. We'll show you in a minute, but there's an overhead control panel where they can control not only temperature but airflow pattern and fan speed. Of course, again, not overly digitized, but simple rocker switches to control that. 12-volt power plug, another one here, a third in the very back. Excuse me. This pops out and you can see drink holders. There's actually, I believe it's 6 different drink holders, plus you have the addition of the door storage with drink holders. So you got these sort of map pockets or storage, and then sort of like a tall bottle storage in both front doors as well as the rear sliding doors. And what else? Of course your day-night rear view mirror. You can see, of course, the tint, but you also have that sort of dot matrix pattern there that helps cut the glare if you're driving into the rising or setting sun. You have dual illuminated visor mirrors for both sides, overhead individual map lights, curtain airbags. You'll see the little symbol there on the pillar, but they extend up over all 3 windows, and we also have overhead vents there for heat and air conditioning, individual sort of reading lights or map lights in the back, little hooks there to hang your dry cleaning or your Sunday best if you're off to a wedding, that sort of thing. And then you have the height adjustable seat belts, of course, for not only comfort but getting that proper positioning of the seat belt over your shoulder. Then the seat belts themselves also have what they call collision pretensioning. So this is a system that's linked to the airbag sensor. So when a serious accident occurs, especially a frontal one, these pretensioners will deploy and tighten those seat belts so that occupants aren't moving around as much, and the better you're held in place, the less the likelihood of serious damage. Headrests themselves are active in all positions. So active head restraints are designed to really absorb impact, especially in rear-end collision, so it reduces whiplash. I'll just flip this up so we can see these here, but all your books and manuals. There's a CAA receipt there from the woman that had a battery put in last year, brand new. So this is the Carfax history report. You can see that dated July 7, that one damage record, 38 different service records over the years, so I don't think you'll find many cars as well maintained as this. May of 2013 was that police reported accident, so minor damage with another vehicle, damage to rear. So again, no insurance claim was ever made. And you'll see, starting with Autoline Toyota, crown rust roofing, and this goes on for pages here. And then since like about 2021 forward, looks like they switched from Autoline going to this Pinhook Automotive next door. And that's quite common. People tend to fall off with the dealer service. The dealer service is always going to be more expensive on their labor rates and parts, so often people will migrate to an independent for a better value. So, sliding doors. Whoops. Yeah. Well, I just showed a safety feature. I forgot that I had opened this up, but that door will not open if this is open, because it's, if, say for example, you're at the gas station, you're filling it up, when somebody from inside tries to open the door, last thing you want to do is knock that gas pump out while it's filling and spilling gas all over. Obviously that's a hazard, so that's a neat safety feature that they have in there. But what I wanted to point out here was there's no premium fuel requirement, because there's always a sticker inside if that's the case. So this will now slide back nice and easy. So not electric, again, less to go wrong with it. Child-proof door locks. Again, clean, 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 no rust anywhere. We've wiped down a lot of these touch points where, where the oil spray tends to drip out and whatnot, but in here we have, of course, the sliding. There's a long track slider on these captain's chairs. These can fold down flat and then flip up, or they can be removed altogether if you really want to open up your cargo space to get maximum space, because obviously you've got lots and lots of room if that's what you need. Up top here on the passenger side, driver's side behind the driver, we've got the mode, temperature, and fan controls. Then these can be opened up for airflow. And again, you can choose higher or lower airflow. And then we've got, of course, in the very back, an opening. Now, it's got the WeatherTech sort of floor tray. I'm going to pull this out, sort of leave it on the ground here so we can sort of have a look at the seating in the back. We also have the original cargo net that can be strung across the back to sort of, it's what they call an envelope style, and it can be opened up, and things like groceries can be put inside so they don't spill out as you drive along. So it's sort of a three-stage mechanism. 1, 2, oops, grab this here, there we go. And that flips forward and goes down. Easy peasy. You can do the same with both sides, and of course it's a 60-40 split seat. Now, you'll see in the back of the front seats, in the back of the middle row center seat, this extra hook, and that's for a child tether strap, because it has what they call the latch or isofix anchor points for child seats in either captain's chair or in the middle row in the back. So you can fit up to three car seats across the back. Opening up this, again, same as on the other side. There we go. Two hands there. These pop up when you need them. If you don't need them, you can leave them down. So again, better visibility for the driver. And lots of space for luggage while still carrying 7 passengers. So let's finish up under hood. Also has that nice sort of hood guard on the front. And the hood release is just down here. Of course, I'm doing it with my left hand. There we go. So, that new CAA battery we talked about earlier, air filter just drops in here. We've got your car brake fluid reservoir. Pretty straightforward. Air filter drops in here. Oil dipstick, cap, washer fluid, prop rod to hold it up. This sort of octopus there with all those things coming in, and that's the ABS actuator. That's what sets up that rapid pumping action. And it can actually individually brake all 4 wheels, up to 24 times per second, so extremely quick and fast, and it really prevents loss of steering in a low traction environment. You can see underneath here, very, very clean. Drop that down, and I think we can call this a wrap. This one's not going to last long, I can assure you that, especially being next to a Toyota dealer. So nice low mileage Siennas, very hard to come by. I'm Steve, we're CarSmart, Niagara Falls. We can be reached at 905-354-0049.